happening?
I could skip because they're going to run a 3-4. Remember, the bulk of his career was spent in Houston. He played in the 3-4 defense, so he could play the stand-up linebacker or he can play the 5 technique. And the Cowboys only have about $11 million in space, but so much for Jadeveon Clowney resetting the market. Skip, he was never going to reset the market with 3 sacks. People don't know this. Jadeveon Clowney has never had a double-digit sack season.
Nope.
Considering that he dealt with injuries the better part of his first career and has never had a double-digit sack season, how do you reset the market? So I think the Cowboys, if they were to sign him, is going to get a phenomenal talent at a bargain price. So, yeah, I think it'd be, Skip, I think it'd be a great fit because he can play the stand-up position. He wreaks havoc. He doesn't get a lot of sacks, Skip, but he's very disruptive. He puts a lot of hits on the quarterback. He causes a lot of, makes the quarterback throw early, throw off the wrong foot. So, yes, I absolutely believe he would be a great addition. And it would he would be the guy that could possibly replace Robert Quinn in the production that he gave them last year if they could get him. But if you could get him, Skip, at $11 million, considering that he played on the franchise tag last year at about, what, $14 to $16 million. So if you can get him at $11 million, that'd be a steal.
I want to reiterate what my partner across the table, a Hall of Famer named Shannon Sharp, just said on national TV. Yes, I can see Jadeveon Clowney being a Dallas Cowboy this year, right here, right now. I'm so happy because when I first read this story earlier last night, is in the evening, it was about 4 o'clock, I thought, please. They don't have any money left. They still haven't even signed Dak. What do we? There's no way. He wanted $20 million to start. The Browns offered him 18. He sniffed at that. The Dolphins offered 17. He sniffed at that. We can't offer that. And then guess what happened? Cam happened. Cam went to New England. And it suddenly dawned on me, Jadeveon Clowney can be the Cam Newton of edge rushers. He can take a 1-year showcase, show the world deal, incentive-laden. I don't know. Maybe it'd get him up to 8 or 10 million because that's all.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Y'all got $11 million. I'm going to need all that.
No, 8 or 10.
No.
You got to keep a little back here. But this is incentives so you can sort of pass them under the hard cap a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I see him in Philly.
Jerry is the master of cap manipulation.
I see him in Philly.
No, I see him in Dallas because everybody wants to wear the star on that helmet.
Nope.
Jamal Adams is campaigning to be a Dallas Cowboy, but Jamal wants his $25 million right here, right now. So he feels like he's proven that he is a premier safety. All of a sudden, Jadeveon is seeing his mortality, his NFL mortality. They don't love me. I still love Jadeveon Clowney as a force of a disruptor off the edge. He is a supremely athletic and can be very physical pass rusher. And to me, I get it that he's fighting double teams, so he doesn't have the sack totals. But every time I watch him, he leaps off my screen where I say, that guy is disrupting that offense.
Skip Bayless, he played alongside J.J. Watt. There's no excuse for him not to have double-digit sacks.
Okay. So are you saying he's overrated? Because I'm not.
No, I'm just saying early in his career, Skip, he dealt with a lot of injuries. And the thing is now...
but to your point, he has played 44 of the last possible 48 games that he could have played in. So I'm not seeing injury-riddled.
No, he moved past that because I think he had the foot injury early in his career. Skip, he had a couple of other
his rookie year,
knee.
But Skip, I mean, if you can get this guy, if you get him, Skip, on a 1-year deal, and you're paying him anything less than what he was asking to reset the market at over $20 million a year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was looking for $22 million a year. Well, Skip, you had 3 sacks.
Okay.
You're going to need, Skip, if you're going to try to reset the market to go past Khalil Mack, to go past Aaron Donald, you're going to need to have a 18, 20 sack season. Three's not going to get that.
So I told you, I believe in Aldon Smith, but I can't know that. He hadn't played for 5 years.
Oh, you definitely take Jadeveon Clowney over Aldon Smith. And the other. And
I like Randy Gregory. But
not
again,
over Jadeveon.
Big X factor. Hey, all of a sudden, DeMarcus Lawrence, the other edge rusher, he's an X factor because he did not live up to the $100 million that Jerry gave him. So you bring in this guy, he might be your number 1. But that would be 2 high-pick first-rounders that you would have, Aldon Smith, obviously, with Clowney, and you'd have 2 second-rounders and Randy Gregory, and obviously DeMarcus is the 34th overall pick. firepower coming off.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, you know, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football guys. Wake up, guys. Wake up. Wake up. How's everybody doing today? How are you doing today? You know what? This morning, I went for a long walk this morning with my wonderful wife, wife of 17 years. And I realized today that I have known her for 35 years. Dougie Fresh. Where's Slick Rick? This is the show. This is the show, Dougie Fresh. How you doing tonight, man? Stuart Morrison. What's up, Stuart? Blank man. You're right. The Washington football team's mascot should be Blank Man. That's a great one. Mike J in the house. Q. Jackass. Oh, my God. What, Jackass, you ain't been in here in a while. Is this a new profile for you? PC, what's up, Crystal May? Hey, Crystal May, you want some muscles? Here you go. There's the muscles for you, Crystal May. Actually, she was talking about crab boil stuff. Inside joke. Q, what's up? Herman Chavez, how you doing? Mike Sniff Lute? I can't pronounce it. We're just going to call you Mike. Ethan, how y'all doing tonight? Okay, so this morning, my wife is literally walking my ass in the ground. I'm serious. My wife, it used to be like, come on, honey, let's go for a little walk. Oh, no, I don't want to go. Now it's like, I'm going for a walk. Let's go for a walk. It's like, oh, damn. And so this morning, I didn't have to leave the house to go to work. So she's like, why don't you go for a walk with me this morning? I was like, how much do you do first thing in the morning? She said, I do a 3-mile loop. I'm like, oh, damn. First thing in the morning, I got to go for a 3-mile walk. But this morning, it was magical because they had cut the grass on the trail. And see, most of you young people don't understand this. But see, when we in high school played football, we had 2-a-days. And in the morning, when you went out on the field, there was all the dew on the grass, and they had cut it, and it had this scent to it, okay? And that scent just was like deja vu. It took me back to training camp. It was just like, oh, football is in the air. Now, you don't get that now because they have field turf, okay? Field turf, you don't get that fresh grass cut smell. You just get rubber. But it hit me this morning that it's like it's almost time. And the NFL, the NFLPA came to agreement and everything else where they figure, or they've got it down where we're going to go ahead and this is what we're going to do. The salary cap will not go any lower than $175 million. That's the floor. Worst case scenario, the season is called, we're going to spread out the losses over the course of 3 years. Which is good because that means worst case scenario is salary cap goes down $23 million. You can work with that. Currently what we have on the roster for next year, we're under that salary cap right now. If you're the Eagles, you got some problems, son. You got some problems because you at $265 million in committed contracts. See, I keep hearing the Eagle fans talk about Howie Roseman. He gets players. Howie Roseman, he's a genius and stuff. Well, you know what? Howie Roseman's been doing those good old payday loans. With the high interest rates. You can pay a little bit on it now, but at some point, they're going to come take your car. Okay? They're going to take everything you have. You can't keep borrowing money on that payday loan. At some point, the bill comes due. And next year, it goes to them. The Rams found that out. The Rams found that out the hard way. They did that payday loan too. And that's where they ended up gutting the team. And I don't think that they have the players that they had before. So, went out this morning. We're doing this walk. I'm feeling like football's in the air. Then all of a sudden we hear about Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams wants out of New York. Escaped from New York, okay? And I like to equate things to things that have happened in the past. Aaron, good evening to you, man. Thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate that. I like to equate things with things that happened in the past, mainly because I'm old. It's like my dad, he listened to oldie but goodies right? They don't make music like that no more. And I do that with rap too, because I'll go into some Run DMC and I'll say, they don't make rap like that anymore. That was real rap music. I don't know what that crap is you guys listen to now. What's happening, Miss Jackie? Nino, Alan, Big Wizzy, where you been, man? Big Wizzy, your fish, he getting big too. He getting big. Q in the house. Screw Jamal Adams. Oh, wait. But as I was saying, I like to equate things with things that happened in the past. So then, of course, we heard this thing about Dak Prescott. Miss Jackie shared it to me first thing this morning. Boom. From my man, Brian Brodus.
I asked another coach. I said, what about Dak? Do you think he wants to be here? And he said, at this point, no, I don't think so. However, he will not say it or show it. The kid is a stud and is mentally strong. So the attitude is that, maybe this is a situation with Dak, he's to the point where I don't think that Dak is upset with the coaches. I think that Dak was disappointed that Garrett got relieved of his job, is how I'm reading some of this stuff. But
you're lowballing me. You fired my coach. You always had my back.
Right.
And, maybe I'm starting to lose a little bit of faith that you guys are winners.
Yeah.
Do I have all that right? I'm losing faith, kind of like how Aikman has lost faith in the competency of the front office.
Right. See, that's where I think that, to me, Dak, the coaches were talking about, hey, Dak got affected when Garrett was up there after the Redskin game and giving that tearful, these are my guys, they worked hard. He was affected by that. But, and maybe this is, like I said, I think that the more about the front office, I think Dak is more hurt with the front office than he was by, and, we've all kind of talked about, we want to see Mike McCarthy coach and work with Dak Prescott. We want to see him grow. We want to see him get better. Yeah. And maybe he can.
Well,
maybe he can. There's a lot of maybe. Because I remember Mike Farello. Let's go back in history a little bit here. I remember Mike Farello saying there might be a tape out there 10 times worse than Ray Rice's with Des Bryant. Do you remember that? And you remember what that did? It literally set off a whole firestorm where all these people were looking for this tape where Des Bryant got sullied. And to this day, there's still no tape. And I have yet to hear Mike Farello say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Cleveland, what's up? What's up, Cleveland? Anthony, how you doing? Green Goblin. Okay, all right. So then Jane Slater, who famously was the one who came out and said that Dak Prescott was looking for $40 million contract. You might remember that. Okay. So this happened this morning on Good Morning Football. Good morning.
A few things. I am good friends with Brian Broaddus. We sort of talked this thing out as it broke because my initial response was, wow, I don't know if I believe this to be true, just based on my conversations with Dak Prescott. Now, here's what I will say. Dak was frustrated with the way that this whole negotiation went. He also took issue with the way there were some details reported in the media, i.e., I know his side didn't love my report about the $40 million ask last summer. I know they didn't love the way it was characterized that this was a last-minute deal of Dak getting involved at the deadline. But Dak is not one to necessarily show you all of his cards. He is one of the most professional young men that I've ever covered in this league, and especially when you consider all the pressure that comes with the star on the helmet. I keep referencing back to there was a lot going on around Tony Romo's comeback and Dak Prescott seemingly turning over that locker room. There were a lot of players that were on his side. There was a lot of frustration from Tony Romo's camp that he wasn't getting the support of the coaching staff and Jerry and Stephen Jones. And so, while there was a lot of stuff being said then, there was nothing being said from Dak Prescott. So while I know there was some scar tissue as a result of some of these negotiations, I find it incredibly hard to believe that Dak is coming from a place if he doesn't want to be here next year. I definitely think he feels a little slighted, that there have been players before him that have gotten overpaid in some instances, and they couldn't get close to the numbers that they wanted, or for that matter, get a 4-year versus a 5-year deal done. But this is a kid that grew up in Houghton, Louisiana, a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan. He is now the franchise guy, and I believe he'll be the franchise guy next year. His locker room loves him. I've never seen a locker room galvanized behind a quarterback, let alone a 4-stringer, his rookie season, the way that they did with Dak Prescott. And we even saw from his brother, Tad Prescott. Tad put out yesterday a tweet that said, fake news. Again, my only concern with this report was that it came from a former coach who gave his thoughts about him thinking that this is how Dak Prescott said. There was no indication that Dak directly told him that. So that's why I would say take this one with a little bit of a grain of salt.
Yeah. Take that one with a little grain of salt. You know, this, okay, a former coach who's saying that Dak Prescott might be a little upset because Jason Garrett was fired. Maybe he's a little upset because Jason Garrett was fired and he's a former coach as well. So this is one of those ones that, you know, on the BS meter, it's kind of high, I think. You know, this one speaks of so much speculation without a doubt. So I'm going to go ahead and just say, okay, whatever. But in the end, here's the thing that people realize. If you're a player in the NFL, you understand that this is business. It's nothing personal here. And you having a problem with Jerry Jones and them and feeling slighted, it has nothing to do with what you do in the locker room. Because the couple of things that I love that she pointed out was how the locker room came around to Dak Prescott. I want you to think about this now. Just listen to this for a second, how crazy this is. Tony Romo had been with the Cowboys for 10 years and had been the quarterback. After Troy Aikman, we had a litany of guys that came in, had a cup of coffee, and didn't bust a grape. Tony Romo, whether you thought that Tony Romo had some bad games or Tony Ono or whatever, he was still the heart and soul of that team. When Dak was drafted, Dak was not drafted to replace Tony Romo. We need some depth on the chart. The guy they thought who might be that guy was like Paxton Lynch that they tried to move up for. And thank God that shit fell through. Dak has been that guy who's always been the underdog, who whenever he's had an opportunity has run with it, and once he's gotten a job, he does what it takes. You know, having a psychology degree, that definitely helps. I mean, master psychology, he needs that just to deal with Cowboy fans. Let's be honest here with you guys. You definitely need to have a psychology degree to deal with us fans. But what she was saying actually hit me because she talks about, you know, how the locker room, they supported him. When Tony Romo went down, you know, you're not supposed to lose your position. You're not supposed to lose your position to injury. But Dak played so good, and he galvanized that locker room. He literally turned guys that were always, Tony Romo is our guy, to Dak is our leader. That's huge. And see, here's where it's kind of interesting too, because that whole thing kind of brought me around full circle, because you guys know how I am. You know how I am, because I've got all of these damn pesky ass Eagles. You guys love, you love being here. You know when you see, do I think this is the year, Mark? Bobby Loco, appreciate the super chat. I hope it's the year. I'm not going to say it's the year. I'm going to hope it's the year. There are too many unknowns this year. We got a good team. I think we got an opportunity, but there's too many variables. But back to these Eagle fans that just love it. I know when the Eagles see Mark Holmes live, oh my God, Mark's live. Let's go to Mark's channel. You know, but Jonathan, Lindsay, I don't think I've ever seen you in here before. Welcome to the Joe Boo Sports Report. But I'm going to tell you, I can be kind of like the Incredible Hulk. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Because the other, a couple weeks ago, I kind of just turned blue. Okay, I'm the Blue Hulk, okay? I turned blue, and I started kicking mother humpers out of here because, this is my show. And if I like Dak Prescott on my show, okay, understand, I'm going to talk about it because this is my show.
23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
So please don't set me up. I'm asking you nicely. Okay? All right? I ain't saying that he's perfect, but I got to tell you, he's pretty damn good. Back to this whole situation here. When you think about what Jane Slater said about Dak Prescott in that locker room, think about how the locker room could have been divided up between Tony Romo and Dak Prescott. How easily it could have been. It could have been all-out war because you could have had Dak Prescott, Tony Romo fans. Little touchdown. What's up, man? Where you been hiding? Which game last season you think we showed our full potential on offense? I think it was either the Rams, Minnesota, or the first Eagles game. I'd say actually all three. But really, Minnesota you can't say because potential-wise, you didn't see it from Zeke Elliott. You did not see anything from Zeke Elliott that game, so you got to take that one out. The Rams game, you saw the potential, and actually the Rams game and the Eagles game, both of those games, you saw the potential because they used play action. They used play action like crazy. Aloha, guy, where you been hiding, man? Well, all these people coming out to woodwork tonight. Okay, Wentz is right. Wentz, laugh out loud. So we could have had war with half the locker room going for Tony Romo, half the people going for Dak Prescott, right? It could be easy to see that because this is a 10-year veteran. We've seen quarterback controversies. I mean, Steve Young, Joe Montana. Joe Montana had to go. It was Steve Young. So it would be easy to see a guy who was drafted in the 4th round who, maybe he just got lucky as a rookie to go back to your other guy. But that locker room got behind him. But here's where it gets cool. Because I started thinking about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz locker room problems. Washington diehard fan, man, love your new logo, man. The W. Okay, it should just be an L. How about an L? Could you just put an L on? Okay, I'm sorry. But if you look up Carson Wentz locker room problems, Carson Wentz breaks silence on anonymous Eagles players talking about him. Carson Wentz described as selfish. Quarterback fails. Carson Wentz not universally loved in locker room. Anonymous Eagles players believe Carson Wentz is, and this is from last year. This is October 2019. Sources inside the Eagles paint Carson Wentz as a selfish person. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to go to the first article on here, okay? Because we're told that Carson Wentz is the gold standard, okay? Dak Prescott is the broke-ass quarterback. Gold standard, the broke-ass quarterback down here, right? Carson Wentz breaks his side. This is Carson Wentz answering to the issue. Carson Wentz breaks silent on anonymous Eagles teammates calling him selfish. I know who I am, first of all. I know how to carry myself. I know I'm not perfect, brother. We know you're not perfect too, bro. We know you're not perfect. Okay. I know I have flaws. Do I need to show you guys those flaws again? Do I need to show? Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and say it was inaccurate and completely made up. So the quarterback is admitting that there's issues in his locker room. He's admitting that there's problems between him and other players. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Okay. But at the end of the day, I will say our locker room is really close. If there's a guy that had issues, in hindsight, I wish I could have talked to him about them. But again, I don't know how that all happened and everything with that. So this was the reason why he had to respond to it. So the month earlier, Wentz was described as selfish, uncompromising, and egotistical. The report cited that more than a half a dozen players on the roster noted Wentz is viewed unfavorably compared to Nick Foles in the locker room. It's never been fun to read, but to an extent you look at it and be like, well, if somebody did have the perception of me, why? What have I done wrong? What can I do? What can I be better at? And I realize I have shortcomings. Yes, I can be selfish, but I think that all of us have selfishness inside of us. There's all human elements to that really look at and say, well, I can get better. You know, you can say what you want about my quarterback, but I can tell you, you've never, ever, ever heard anybody say anything about the locker room presence with Dak Prescott, because he is truly a leader of men in that locker room. Those guys are behind him. So when you hear Brian Broaddus say, well, you know, I'm sorry, I have to call bullshit on that one. Brian Broaddus, I love you, dog, but I have to call bullshit on that one. So as we go through and we hear these things, understand, Ms., keep ignoring me, Mark Holmes. I'm sorry, man. You gotta understand. Ms., I'm sorry about that. You gotta understand, I got a lot of things going on, dog. A whole lot of things going on. I got a computer here. Actually, let me change it up here. I got a computer here. I got a computer here. I got a computer here. I got a screen here, screen here, screen here. I got a camera here. I got a camera there. Here a camera, and there a camera. Everywhere a camera, okay? And I got a keyboard here, a keyboard here, a keyboard here, and a master changing switch here. And I try to look at the camera so that way you can see my eyes, okay? So you see my eyes, that they're not bloodshot. And so I don't always get all the comments. I apologize. I wish I had somebody who could run the boards, and all I had to do was just look at the comments and read the comments. But it's a one-man show. So let me see if I can back up, Ms., and get your comment on here. Green Goblin, remember when the Cowboys were 3-0 and you were saying Philly below 500? Yeah, okay, Green Goblin. You know what? Congratulations, Green Goblin. You get the booby prize. Okay there, buddy. All right? But you know what? I'm going to still say Philly going to be below 500 this year again. Okay? Philly going to be below 500. Let's not talk about flaws. How come you didn't beat Carson the last game? Oh, Miz, you mean I backed my shit up for that comment? Really? You know what, Miz, I take it, Miz. I don't know if you're a Mrs. or Miss or Ms. or that's just your nick. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. And welcome to the show. You're a first timer in here as far as I've seen. Okay? Understand, There is nobody out there who wins every single game. And I'm sick and tired of mother humpers that throw everything on one guy. Because, see, here's what pisses me off. And see, you know, I tried to come in here nice tonight. I tried to come in, but see, I know you guys just love it when I get pissed off. I know you love it when I get pissed off, but that's cool. That's cool. Because when the Cowboys were 13-3, his rookie year, did not a single person say, you know what, he did pretty good with that. No, they said, Zeke Elliott, man, that dude, he run the hell out of that ball. That offensive line was freaking fantastic. Defense coming along. Did nobody ever give the man any kind of credit? If you can't give them credit when they win, you damn sure can't blame them when they lose. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Now, as far as Carson Wentz, that mother humper, if you want to say it's all on the quarterback, I got to tell you, he's 3-5 against the Cowboys. Explain that to me. If you're going to say that Dak Prescott is garbage, because I believe the year before, we went on a run, went to your house when you were Super Bowl defending champions and kicked that ass. Not only then, brought you to our house in a shootout against Carson Wentz, the guy who can do so many things that Dak Prescott can't do, and kicked that ass in overtime. Had a beautiful 8.5-minute drive down your throat to win and get ourselves the division. Now explain that shit. Explain that. And as you're talking about how great your guy is, explain how that guy was 5-6 the year before. Because if you're going to say, oh, he was so great this year, well, he was garbage the year before, and it was Nick Foles that came in and saved your mother humping ass. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Because his rookie year, losing season. I'll give you 2018 when you had a 4-play schedule and nobody thought that you had jack. You snuck up on people but couldn't finish it. 2018 was sorry, and I mean it was sorry. And they want to put all of the blame. See, this is where your guy, they always pump him up. You know, he's like the kid that you worry about that's a little shorter in class and he's not as fast. So they're always trying to pump up Johnny. That's okay. You know, Johnny, well, we understand, Johnny. You're going to be great. Because they end up saying, well, Carson Wentz is better than his statistics because the receivers drop passes. Well, you know what? We had our quarterback have more drop passes. But I didn't hear anybody saying that shit for him, right? Do you think if Dak Prescott was second in the NFL at fumbling the football, the damn football, that they wouldn't be talking about that every mother humping week? And as bad as you say your receivers were, there were a lot of passes that he threw out there that weren't real good. Little touchdown. Thank you for that huge super chat. Bring me back down to earth. I like Brian Broaddus, but I don't listen to him. He loves to stir the pot with a lot of comments. Months ago, he was saying he might trade Joe Looney to make the rookie center the starter. There's a reason why he's not a scout anymore. Wow. Little touchdown. Thank you for that super chat. And yeah, he's not a scout anymore. Sometimes, let's be honest. What you want to do, I don't care if you're me or Vosh or if you're Mike Farello or Brian Broaddus or Mike Fisher, whoever you are, or, ESPN. The bottom line is you want people to watch by hook or crook, by one way or the other. And so sometimes you kind of skirt the line a little bit to try and get people's attention. Maybe you put that picture out there because you know how many times we click on a video and we say, oh, man, I got to check this out. And you look at it and it's like, that thumbnail's not even in the video. It's got nothing to do with it. Or you read the title and you realize, oh, okay. You get halfway through the video, it's like, what was the title about again? Oh, Ms. Whatever. Ms. Okay, whatever. Aaron. I don't think it's Dak hate. I think it's Dak hate because he's the star on the helmet. He would get a lot more credit if he didn't play for Dallas. Oh, my God. If he played for anybody else, they would be talking about he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, honestly. If he got could you imagine if he was treated like the way they treat Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz can't do any wrong. Carson Wentz gets knocked out of the game and doesn't come back, and they say, he's so brave for not risking out there, his health. What? If Dak Prescott did that, they would say, you know what, Dak Prescott, I'm not sure he's a team player. I'm not sure he's a team player. He should have gotten up and been out there with his teammates. And that would have happened. That would have happened. And back to you mother humpers out there from Eagle Land. I see what Vosh is talking about now. I see what Vosh is talking about. That you trolls just like to get in here. We weeks away from ever having a game, and yet here we are fighting about this stuff. But if you believe this guy, oh no. Mike Mickey 21. Boy, we getting all kind of Nardo. I'm Nietzsche Jr. Where are all these people? I've got people literally coming out the woodwork tonight. I ain't seen some of you guys ever before. But that's okay. That's okay, because you know what? I tell you what, Eagle fans, you know what? When you think that you guys are, I get it. You got the division. Congratulations. But understand, nobody in 16 years has won it back-to-back. So remember that when you don't win it this year, okay? Because, see, as much as you want to talk about that one game that you pounded your chest on, that was your whole season, wasn't it? The only thing you care about was finally getting a win over the Dallas Cowboys. Because, see, I remember a wide-eyed, teary-eyed Philly 500 when you got your ass handed to you by the
Does anybody know? Did anybody just watch? Am I the only person? Do I speak dog?
Yes, you do.
Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. Rough, mother humper. I mean,
this is where I was saying earlier.
What is Carson supposed to do? Urge
Okay,
drop
should
the
have
ball
set
in the
that
end
field goal
zone.
earlier. Now the only thing.
All right, I'm going to leave these mother-humping Eagle fans alone because, see, you're getting me off my game. You're pissing me off, okay? But it's cool. It's cool. I need to deal with my own team right now, okay? I'm dealing with my own team. So Jamal Adams is doing Antoine Fair. Brodus doesn't sell Wolf tickets. He didn't report Dak wants to leave. He said the coach from last year thought, okay, cool. All right, I'll give you that one. That's cool. But anyway, we're moving on to Jamal Adams. So Jamal Adams is doing the only thing that he can do right now. He looks at it as, I'm one of the best ones in the business. I've played better than my contract, and I want a new deal. And the reality is this is nothing new. This is what happens. I mean, all the time. This has been happening since the beginning of the NFL. Let me get to this little trade idea that they had over here. This is a non-starter to me.
Gallup is actually a good return piece for the Jets. And Cowboys fans, as soon as you say the name, Cowboys fans go, no. And here's my explanation of why they need to be a little more open to that. One, you're getting an all-pro safety. You have to give something up. Number two, Michael Gallup, after this year, is going to be asking for a new contract. You already paid Amari Cooper.
You have CeeDee Lamb.
You drafted CeeDee Lamb to be the number 2 across from Cooper in the future. You can give up a Gallup if you want Jamal Adams. If you don't, then that's fine. But if you do, Gallup and some kind of mid-round pick is actually the Jets are so desperate at wide receiver. That's actually a trade that makes sense to me.
Well, to his thing, yes, you paid Amari Cooper, but technically Amari Cooper's deal Amari Cooper's deal really is only a 2-year deal. You got this year, next year. After that, you can walk out of that with no problems whatsoever. And technically, you could go ahead and get Michael Gallup done his 4th year. So, that's not necessarily accurate with what they said. Tyler Allen, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We're going to be breaking down the schedule soon. But let's get training camp open first before we start doing that one, okay? But when we think about this is nothing new. And I want to take you guys back because a lot of you only know football from your lifetime. You think that everything that's happened in the last 10 years is all there is for football. But see, you have to understand that players forever have always done better than what was expected of them. And realize I'm getting the short end of the stick. And I want to take you back to 1971. Dallas Cowboys got a running back, Dwayne Thomas. And I'm going to play actually this clip because this is one of those things that you need to learn about your history. You can't be a Dallas Cowboy fan and not understand about the glory of being a Dallas Cowboy.
The 23-year history of the Dallas Cowboys is steeped in a winning tradition that has produced an illustrious honor roll of outstanding players. These men, so famous, so celebrated, became collectively known as America's team. But this long line of white-hatted heroes has not been without its black sheep, the most infamous being Dwayne Thomas. Thomas was the Cowboys' #1 draft pick in 1970, a choice that stunned the critics. But his distinctive running style ate up yards, and doubters ate their words.
Dwayne Thomas was a unique player when he came into the league because he had a very unusual gliding motion when he ran. He would look like he was going maybe 3/4 the speed, and then he would see an opening and would have a very, very smooth burst and a very good feel when he got into the secondary.
Thomas gained over 800 yards in his rookie year, and his rushing average was the highest in the NFL. He could also block and catch. He was a complete running back, cast in the mold of Jimmy Brown, who appeared to be a model team player.
And it was something that I didn't mind doing. I didn't mind paying the price to win, because that's what I was there for. People unite on the basis of what they have in common. And football was something that we all had in common, and we united on that. And we were able to achieve this goal, and that had a domino effect, because everyone had something to contribute.
The Cowboys won their first NFC championship in 1970, but smiles disappeared the next year when Thomas proved a goldfish can behave like a shark in the same fishbowl.
I thought he was going to be one of the greatest running backs of all time. And then unfortunately something happened in his second year that changed his whole attitude, and then it got to be very miserable to be around.
During the off season after that year, it looks and appears that he did get on drugs after that year. And then when he came back, you can never tell what he was going to be like in any given day. You might walk by him one day and he would say, you say hello to him, and he would say hello to you. The next day you say,
I want to stop right there for 1 second, because here's where there's a little difference of opinion. Dwayne Thomas, first-round draft pick, didn't start until week 6. And this is when there were 14-game seasons, okay? He ended up having 803 yards on the season. Ended up being, I think, second in the NFL in rushing that year. And he went to them and said, hey, I outplayed my contract. I want to get a 3-year deal and get paid, because I want to say that the contract paid him about $21,000. And the Cowboys were like, no. You say that he didn't like Dallas. Jackass, he didn't like the fact that they didn't want to pay him. He felt like, I'm the catalyst on this offense. I want to get a contract. And because he didn't get that contract, he ended up being disruptive. Now, Tom Landry is going to say, oh, it was about drugs. But understand, Textram didn't want to pay anybody on the team. That was what the Cowboys were known for, was not paying their players. And they had a lot of disgruntled ones. But let's go on.
Hey, leave me alone. Yeah, don't talk to me.
These forces, whatever they were, whether it was an agent or his feelings towards life, he went into a shell, and he was tough to communicate with, and it affected his play and it affected his opportunities in the National Football League.
1971 was the silent season of Dwayne Thomas. A loner, isolated from the team, he became an enigma, known as the Sphinx.
I made a statement prior to going into the season. I said, gentlemen, this is my last interview. Believe me. Because what? I'm going to work. That's why I was brought up. Because we were brought up this way. When you're working, you don't talk. Because you get more things done.
In 1971, although Thomas ran silent, he ran deep. He gained over 800 yards and scored the most touchdowns by any runner in the league. But for all the excitement he created on the field, off it, he created turmoil and tension.
When you got that kind of tension in your football team, it's pretty tough. And he would be in a meeting room, and he'd have his head down, his eyes closed the whole time. He'd never look or talk or anything in the meeting room.
At the early meeting, you were considered late if you didn't answer your name when it was called on roll. And so Dwayne never answered his name. And usually they would skip over it. This one particular day, the guy who was calling roll, for some reason decided that, Dwayne was going to answer here or, like everybody else. And he said Thomas, and Dwayne said nothing. He said Thomas. And finally, he said Thomas maybe 10 times, and Dwayne didn't say anything. So I think it was Mike Ditka stood up and said, well, Dwayne, if you're here, why don't you answer like the rest of us? And, Dwayne sort of looked at him and smiled at him, and he was sitting in these, we were sitting in these little elementary school seats, these primary school seats. And he just took a seat and reversed it and faced the back of the room.
I would have probably suspended any other player that would have acted as he did. And the reason that we could tolerate him is that he never made any errors when he went on the field. So obviously he's listening and he was studying. And the result was we were able to go to the Super Bowl, but it was almost unreal the way he was that particular year.
Thomas almost burnt down the house the Cowboys had carefully built. But he ran through the fires like a man wearing an asbestos suit. He ran Dallas to their second straight NFC title and into Super Bowl VI, where his legs carried them to their first world championship. Not lost amidst Super Bowl euphoria was Tom Landry's uncharacteristic coddling of Dwayne Thomas, a fact that came to bear the next season.
Tom Landry is pretty consistent as far as how he treats players. Dwayne was a very difficult situation and had to be treated a bit different, or they would have had to get rid of him immediately. Landry really tried to work with Dwayne.
No one knew how I was going to react or how he was going to react, so therefore you had tension all the time.
Well, I'm going to end that right there because they ended up releasing him. But some of the things that they actually didn't talk about, which is actually amazing when you think about it, that Super Bowl year, because we had lost to the Colts the year before, which was, tough. I mean, it was. I remember it. It was basically a battle of field goals. I think 19-16 was the final score. And I remember how dejected my father was after watching that game. I didn't really understand football that much because I was only like 5 years old, but I just remember how bad my dad was. But at the beginning of that Super Bowl season, they traded him to New England for a second-round pick along with some other players. After a week of him being in New England complained to the commissioner, and they ended up reversing the trade, and he went back to Dallas. And this is all because he was looking and saying, I am undervalued. And he did the only thing he could which was be disruptive, although he wasn't on the field. Because here's the crazy thing about this. He was voted MVP at the game. But because he didn't speak to the media, they gave it to Roger Staubach. Because when they were going to have the banquet in New York and all that, they didn't know how he was going to act. And this is sad because he was a fantastic athlete on the field, and he never, ever became that player anymore. His career ended up with only 2,000 and some odd yards. He went to the Chargers and the Redskins, and that was basically the end of it. And I bring this up because this is very similar to what we're listening to now. Of course, Brian Broaddus is saying, Dak Prescott is, maybe not happy about being in the Cowboys. No, that's somebody who wasn't happy about being with the Cowboys, about not getting their deal done. That is what it looks like when somebody is trying to be disruptive. In the same way Earl Thomas was with the Seattle Seahawks, where it was like, I am undervalued, I want to get paid. And you saw how he was from the time he went into the locker room in the Cowboys and saying, come get me, to all off season being disruptive. Now, when the season came around, he was like, I ain't got no choice, I'm going to play so I can get out of here and get on someplace else. But you see Jamal Adams doing kind of the same thing, where he's being disruptive. He's making sure that it's going to be ugly in New York. He's already said things about the owner who's being investigated right now. And now you're going through and you put the coach on blast because you literally say the coach is not the guy. He doesn't have a relationship with anybody on the team. If there's something wrong, another coach happens. If there's something going on in the locker room, he leaves. He is literally he is literally dropping a grenade in the locker room and trying to work his way out. Because the reality is this. Free agency was made. You got to understand, when I grew up, when these guys played, you were drafted by the Cowboys, you were either going to be a Dallas Cowboy or you weren't going to be in the NFL. Very rarely did teams get rid of or make trades. There really wasn't free agency. They made free agency so that way a player would be able to choose where they wanted to go at some point. But it's still that the owners have all the cards. I want you to think about these rookies signing their rookie deals right now that are 4 years and like a 5th-year option. Most careers don't last that long. If you're a running back, chances are you're not getting to a second contract. You don't have that opportunity. And if you don't perform, they cut you. Bye. But you overplay, you do above and beyond, you're screwed. Now, let's be honest here. I don't care how you feel about Dak Prescott. He played better than a 4th-round draft pick. He was worth more than $1 million a year. When your punter was making more than that, where the backup quarterbacks were making more than he was. And that's the bad thing about football. Football, it's an incredible sport. I love football to death. But in the end, it's ruthless. It's a business. And they're going to get you for as cheap as they can, for as long as they can. And they don't give a rat's ass that, hey, I appreciate, bro, hey, Dwayne, I appreciate the fact that you went out there as a rookie and became a star. Became the second best running back in the football, in the NFL. But guess what? You ain't getting a raise. Nobody understands this, Mark. Our fans always go with the owner. And, oh, my God. That's the thing that kills me, Miss Jackie, is everybody feels like, oh, well, Jerry Jones, he is the heart and soul of the Dallas Cowboys. He's always, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? They will cut you in a heartbeat. They will trade you for something better at any point. Think about DeMarcus Ware. DeMarcus Ware was the franchise. Boy, bye. Think about Emmitt Smith. Hey, Emmitt, we glad you got the rushing record. We appreciate that. Boy, bye. Tony Dorsett. Hey, man. Tony Dorsett. We love that Monday night 99-yard run against where we only had 10 guys on the field. You will live in NFL history. Bye. Good luck in Denver. It's cold-hearted. But for some reason, fans think that you're supposed to be loyal to the team. The team ain't loyal to you, bro. The team ain't loyal to you. The only way you get deals in the NFL is by kicking and screaming. Seriously. Did Zeke get his deal because the Cowboys said, you know what, Zeke, you've been a great running back for 4 years. We're going to go ahead and pay you. He had to go to Cabo and hold out. Emmitt Smith, after winning the Super Bowl. Hey, Jerry, you only had the team for 5 years now. We got you a Super Bowl. I'm the best running back in football. Why don't you take care of it, brother? No. Boy, please. It was just until they went 0-2 and he realized, God damn it, I got to pay this guy. And Charles Haley put his helmet through the locker. Okay, Charles, maybe that's what we need. Charles, hey, Charles, we need you to step up to next season for Dak's contract. Can you put the fear of God into Jerry Jones for us? D-Law, I ain't doing shit. I'm not getting my shoulder worked on. I'm not doing anything till I get paid. That's the only way you get anything done. But fortunately or unfortunately for Dak, he's not the one that's going to do that. He's going to look and say, you know what? It's beyond just me and how much I get paid. It's about all of us in that locker room. What's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? Daniel Peter. Hey, Daniel. How you like your new name, man? How you like your new name? Huh? Your Washington football. And I question if they're actually a football team. How about the Scrubs in D.C.? I like that one. The Scrubs in D.C. How about that? The No Names. I wish I had a name. How about that? So that's where we are with the whole situation. Now, Jamal Adams. What those other guys were saying was, how about Michael Gallup and a late round pick? Now you actually piqued a little bit of interest here, because what we had heard before, Justin, welcome to the Mojo crew, man. Make sure you email me at cowboysmark94@gmail, so that way we can get you your shot glass to you. Okay, I don't know what the other one is. But that's well, then you need to repost it, because that's so far deep in there. Because you'd have made all those posts about your new stuff.
You go to it's on the join tab too, and click on the join.
It's on the join tab. Okay, it's on the join. Okay, on the join tab, there's a link for you to click on there to. Okay, so yeah, okay. Listen, let me correct myself here. On the join button, there is a link to the Michael Anthony's website for getting the shot glass. Okay, so he's saying don't email me because, Dad, you'll forget or you'll mess it up. That's what he's really trying to say. That's what he's really trying to say. I just seeing a notice here, Ed Oliver stuff. This is crazy. This is some crazy stuff. Alan Williams wants to know how you're doing, Mike. Mike. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Michael Anthony Fitness. Never mind. That's my Cowboys family.
I'm about to say, because.
Okay. This is crazy. And I don't know why he would want to come back. But Alex Smith has been cleared for full contact. Are you crazy? Thank you. You're getting paid. Now listen, he's getting paid whether or not he plays. Okay, let me say that again. I would not ever in life get on that field again after that.
What if he's just saying that so he doesn't have technically retire? Because if he retires, he gets on that money back. I think he does.
Maybe that's it. Alan Williams says, "What's up, Michael Anthony Fitness?" He says he's going to be live streaming tomorrow night. Yeah, so I want you to understand this, because I've been where he's been. I didn't have, the spiral fracture that he had. I understand, it wasn't just, like Joe Theismann, who had that, the break like that. Just like our receiver, Alan Hearns. Alan Hearns, that straight break that actually healed up, okay? No. Understand, Alex Smith had a spiral fracture, which means the bone shredded and came apart. Okay, I mean, it was, oh. Not only that, that wasn't the problem. The problem was the infection that he had in there. And I've been through a Streptococcus A infection in my knee, okay? A Streptococcus infection in my knee where I was on IV antibiotics for 3 months and spent 6 months learning how to walk. Understand, he had the halo on his leg for almost a year. And if you don't know what the halo is it's like a series of rings with metal pins that are inside of your leg holding the bone together. You know, I love football. I've been hurt. I've had this fingernail ripped off all the way hanging by the cuticle, okay? I've torn my ACL. I've had an arm that's been a pinched nerve that's literally just dangling. I've had back problems and everything else. But that spiral fracture, that's it. I'm done. You're not getting me back out on the field. I'm sorry. No way, no how. They can't pay everyone. Well, the real fan, let me say this much. Let me say this much about you can't pay everyone. Which is better to pay? A wide receiver who's been injured a lot, wide receiver, a running back, which typically, if you get 4 years out of, is good, a defensive end who had only had 2 good years, or a quarterback who hadn't missed a game, hadn't caused any problems, that owns a locker room. At some point, what is the most valuable position? What is the hardest position to get in football? It's quarterback. It's quarterback. I'm sorry. You can think, and this is where people think, oh, you know, because somebody told me, let's just draft Burrows. You know, we'll get Burrows to replace him. It's like, first of all, what do you have to do to try and get that guy? Okay? You know what it's going to cost you to get that guy, which means then you don't have those guys to go through there. And, well, he'll be a number 1 draft pick. It's like, do you know how many number 1 draft picks quarterbacks fail? There's no guarantee on any player. Because, see, Russell Wilson, everybody says, oh, man, if we only had Russell Wilson. Understand, if you look at Dak Prescott's career, his numbers and things like that, they're better than Russell Wilson's was at this point. The difference was Russell Wilson, he had the number 1 defense that took the ball away. You can't say that Dak Prescott's had the number 1 defense. The worst defense that they had before his first 5 years was 11th. The worst defense Seattle had his first 5 years was 11th. That makes a little bit, just a little bit of a difference when you have a defense. And as much as we think about Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, we had a number 1 defense out there as well. And somebody had posted to me, and I've got to check it out to make sure that it's correct. But they said that the teams that we lost to with winning records, that literally we had to score 30 points to win. So when you say Dak Prescott didn't play very good against winning teams, well, it sounds like our defense didn't either. You can't make a team and think that if every week I got to score 30 points that you're going to win a lot of them. That's just a fact. And back to this whole thing of, oh, we'll just draft another quarterback. You know, we'll get somebody, better. I want you to think about how many quarterbacks are busts that we think are good. I just want to go through this list just a little bit here of some of the biggest busts. Now, see, I want you to think about, we got our friends from the Washington football team in here. They can attest, I'll never get used to this, they can attest to trying to get a quarterback, as we now hear that Alex Smith is actually cleared to actually start playing again. Understand, they paid that guy $73 million, and they got 8 games out of him. Understand, they paid for 1 year of Donovan McNabb over $40 million because they had guaranteed money. Understand, they took 3 number 1s and a second trying to draft RG3 and got one good year out of him. 49ers and Rockets fan, don't piss me off. Look, dude, if you don't like what I'm saying, take your happy ass on out of here. You know what? Take it out of here. Yeah, I'm going to put Russell Wilson and Dak's name in the same damn sentence, son, because you look at their statistics, go look them up. Look them up. If you put Dak Prescott with that defense that New England had this year, they've been in the Super Bowl. They've been in the Super Bowl. That's a fact. When you got a defense that can't stop nobody, you got a defense that can't stop nobody. You got a kicker that can't kick. You got the worst freaking special teams. And your team has to go, on average, 12 yards further than any other team that you play. 12 yards further. You're not going to win a whole lot of games. James, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate that. I'm serious, man. See, this is where, don't be that ignorant ass fan. Don't be that ignorant ass fan coming into my house with dog crap on your feet. Okay? Take your damn shoes off and have a little respect in my house. Okay? And if you don't like what I'm saying, there's the door. There's the door. You weren't invited anyway. Okay? Take your happy ass out of here. I mean that. Think about this. The year Peyton Manning was drafted, it was Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning. They said it doesn't matter which one you draft. They said because, Peyton Manning's a little more polished one now, but Ryan Leaf has a bigger upside. Made a little difference there, didn't it? Jamarcus Russell, first overall pick. They thought he was the real deal. He had the size, the arm strength. They thought he was going to be the shit. Turns out he was just some shit. Todd Marinovich, who literally was trained by his father to be, literally, it was almost like if you ever watch Rocky when he was like in Russia fighting, Ivan Drago and stuff. It was like seeing Ivan Drago there working out. And that's how Todd Marinovich was trained by his father. Kid couldn't eat McDonald's. Could not get McDonald's until he was like 20, okay? Bust for the Raiders. Heath Schuler, drafted third by the Washington Redskins. There's a lot of Redskins on here. A lot of Redskins. Heath Schuler, they thought he was going to be a good quarterback. Yeah, bust all over him. Third pick in the draft. Rick Meyer. See, here's another one of these. And this is one of those things, too. Generally speaking, when you have a quarterback drafted 1 and 2, one of them is going to be a bust. It just usually works out that way because you had Drew Bledsoe drafted first, and then you had Rick Meyer. Rick Meyer had pretty good season his rookie year. After that, he just went downhill. He was garbage after that. Bust. Andrew Ware. Oh, my goodness. That was another one. Boom. 7th pick in the draft. Bust. Achilles Smith. 3rd overall drafted. Boom. Bust of the Bengals. And the Bengals have had quite a few of them. Todd Blackledge, who was part of the greatest quarterback draft class in the history of football, where you had Dan Marino and Jim Kelly and all these guys, except Todd Blackledge. He was the only flop that was in there. David Klingler, 6th pick in the draft. Boom. Bust. Dan McGuire, Cade McNown, another Brown. There's so many damn Browns. Talk to the Browns about getting a quarterback. Tim Couch, another one of the Browns. Let's see. Mike Phillips. Some of these guys is like, who? I remember Jim Druckenmiller by the 49ers. That was a bum right there. He went to UVA, if I remember right. Kelly Stoeffler, 6th pick in the draft. Jack Thompson. So when you think about, we'll just get rid of Dak and we'll just draft somebody else. Dudes, a lot of times people just get lucky in the draft and getting a quarterback. When Russell Wilson was drafted, what the experts said, if you need a backup quarterback, he might do. He's too short. He's not really the guy. And look at him now. Aaron Rodgers went late in the 1st round. Aaron Rodgers, they were kind of like, meh, I'm not sure about that. Steve Young, they gave up on him in Tampa Bay. Think about Tom Brady being a 6th round draft pick. Think about Tony Romo being undrafted. the Dallas Cowboys lucked the F out getting Tony Romo and then transitioning immediately to Dak Prescott. And it's crazy that so many of you guys are like, oh, screw it. Well, I'll take anybody but him. Are you kidding me? Night, Dave. See you later, man. Thanks for being here. Remember when he was a game manager? You know what? I've heard there's so many, a bus driver, game man. You know what? If that bus is driving into the Super Bowl, I ain't got no problem with that. Because the reality is this. See, this is where people don't seem to understand. You take a look at some of the most yardage passed in the NFL in history. Peace, right? Ryan, see you. A lot of times this is on losing seasons. You don't want your quarterback to have to throw for 5,000 yards. You don't want your running back having to rush for 2,000 yards. Good night, William. Take it easy. What you want is you want balance. You don't want to have, a 2,000-yard wide receiver. You want to be able to have hitting people left and right so they don't know where it's coming from. You want to be able to grind out the score, where you don't have to score 30 points to win a game. You want a defense that's shutting people down and getting takeaways. You need the whole team to come together. Understand, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, it wasn't because Nick Foles was just an incredible quarterback. It was they had a great running attack. They had great play calling. They had a great defense. All those things came together. Understand that as much credit as Tom Brady gets, New England has always had great freaking defenses to go along with it. Along with a shitload of draft picks, because their organization understands the importance of draft picks. All those things go together to help your team win. When the Cowboys have won Super Bowls before, they had the Doomsday defense and the Doomsday 2 defense, you might as well call them. You didn't have Troy Aikman throwing for 4,000 yards to win the Super Bowl. Troy Aikman only had one season where he threw over 20 touchdown passes. Why? Because the team was good all the way around. I get tired. I get tired sometimes with talking to some of y'all that literally it's just like it's in one ear and out the other. I just don't understand. Miss Jackie, Miss Anita, help a brother out. Help a brother out. They just don't listen. They just so full of hate. And this is the problem. Listen, man, we're on the cusp of a good night, Miss Jackie. Good night, and mask up. We're getting ready to get out of here tonight anyway, because I'm tired. But and my Wi-Fi is acting up, so that's why you're getting the pixelation here. So I apologize. Good night, Ohio Cowboy. Everybody going to bed early tonight. You got a wedding. Enjoy the wedding. Enjoy the wedding. Terry Bradshaw, again, great offensive line, great running back, great defense. He had it all. It wasn't Terry Bradshaw that, Dak is a winner. It's just skin. Whoa, Daniel, you can't use that name no more. You to know names now, but I appreciate you saying Dak is a winner. I appreciate that. But listen, we're getting ready to get out of here, and what I want to say is stop all the damn hate, people, please. Hate is going to be the end of all of us. Seriously. We got to start talking and listening to each other. We got to understand we all in this shit together. And we Cowboy fans, and what it's supposed to be about is that star on our helmet. Cowboy fans, we understand about having a logo on our helmet. The team in Washington, they don't understand that one. They don't have a logo. They got a number up on it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so mean to you guys. How about we go ahead and do it? Hail to the
football team. Hail to the football team.
Damn. They ain't got no name. Mark, hate is addictive. I hate that. Okay. All right. Hate is addictive. You know what? I'm not going to be able to trade it. But you know what? We can all laugh at something. Let's just have a laugh before we go.
What? Look at that. He's at this. Did the screen freeze? Is it still light? Look. Looking for the corona. Oh my God! Look at this! Wow, that has to be the stupidest thing I've ever. Oh my God! Are you gonna take a quarterback back in the second round? Oh my God! Are you kidding me? What did you just trade Carson then? Are you kidding me? You just took a quarterback in the second round. This team is so good.
That's kind of funny, man.
They don't need to take. They don't need anything else, right? They're so good. They don't. This has to be for some sort of trade. There has to be something to this. This don't make any sense. Eagles UK, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry. This is stupidity at its finest. There has to be something else going on.
Oh, let me give a shout out here to Brian SoCal. What's up, Brian? Brian. That last logo that you sent me with the chef hat, and I'm chasing the Philly chicken. That is now going to be on a beer glass. I will have those in my hands next week. I've ordered a bunch of them, so I got to make sure I get you one, because without you, man, I wouldn't have all those great-ass logos. So it's getting to be that time, man. I'm tired, boss. I'm real tired. Marcus, biggest points Cowboy team, 28 or 2018? 2008 or... I don't know that either, though. I'm going to actually say the biggest disappointment to me was actually losing to the Steelers in the Super Bowl twice. That's where my biggest disappointment. I mean, you're going to have bad seasons. 2008 was, it was rough. 2018, actually, now you got me thinking here. 2018, I tell you what was more disappointing about the 2018 season wasn't that we lost and didn't make the playoffs. What was disappointing about that season was we lost and we kept Jason Garrett. I was okay with the idea of losing if we lost Jason Garrett and we moved on. This is one of the reasons why people say, oh, last year was, you know what, Eagle fans, I'm going to thank you for beating us. Because if we had not lost that game, Jason Garrett might still be the head coach. And there would be no chance in hell that we would ever have a chance to get in the Super Bowl. Thank you, Gridiron. I appreciate that you enjoyed this, man. I try. You know, it's hard sometimes to try and put all this stuff together and run all this stuff. I like to try and answer as many questions, but I also like to make sure I bring all the news. Try and bring a little bit of funny, you know, but that's the easy part because I'm just funny looking. But, you know, we try and make sure that we all have a good time with the show. And there's nothing but love up in here. But right now, it's time to get your shot glass ready. And I need some of y'all been getting your glasses. I need you to send me your pictures of yourself so I can get you added on here. And like I said, we're going to end up having our beer glasses. And somebody said, I think Philly Cowboy 76, I think he said he was going to make his beer glass his shot glass. I'm like, yo, dog, that's too much of a shot. That's too much of a shot. But let me thank all you great fans. Tomorrow, friends, our rookies who have passed the coronavirus test get to go to the Star for the first time. So, oh, Bob, don't be that guy. Bob, don't be that guy. I'm sorry. You know what? We had the team change over, and we still had the same damn issues with Jason Garrett. Sorry. Yes, he had a Princeton education, but I don't know too many people from Princeton that are great football coaches, okay? If I need somebody to be a scientist, I'll get a Princeton-educated guy. If I need somebody who's a smart guy to work on a computer, I'll get a Princeton guy. If I need a football coach, I ain't going to Princeton, okay? Sorry, Jason Garrett is not the guy that makes players want to run through a freaking brick wall. Jason Garrett, you're not gonna piss me off. You're not, you know. I'm gonna hold on to my shot here. Let's have some shots. Shots. All right, all you great people. Now listen, man. I want to make sure I put this in here tonight because I was in on Vosh's live stream earlier today because Vosh is funny. Vosh is he's like one of my kids. I mean, actually, I'll be honest with you. I think of E2 Blue. I think of Law Nation. I think of all you guys as like my kids because I'm just really freaking old. I really am old. Damn, I'm old. But check out and understand, listen, it's not a competition between me and all these other guys and stuff. We're all out here putting in the work to bring you guys great content as we get ready to try and get this 2020 season going on. And it's hard out here, for a pimp, as they say, with everything that's going on with this coronavirus. Support all those YouTubers, man. Go in there, like, comment, subscribe, man. Because like I said, man, we're all in this together. And please, 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 okay? We tried it with saying that this whole coronavirus, it's fake news, it's bullshit, it's not that bad. This shit's bad. This shit's bad. And I don't want it to affect any of your... I don't want it to affect any of you people out there. So take care, wear a mask, and keep a distance, okay? I will see you guys later. I appreciate and love all you guys. Peace out.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.
Well, I think the games this season are going to be garbage because okay. So if anybody tests positive right now for coronavirus, they're going to be out missing most of training camp.
The thing is, though, the NFL waited too long.
Well, it's not so much that they waited too long, but here's the thing.
I mean, they did because all the other sports they have like a little preseason or whatever.
Yeah.
Where guys get acclimated before they start playing.
Well, that's what they're doing. Okay, they're basically saying for the next 13 days, that's what they're going to be doing: strength training and conditioning. What I'm hoping that somebody will do tomorrow is camp out in front of the Star and see what rookies show up, so that way we know who passed, okay? If you don't see CeeDee Lamb going in there tomorrow, you know he didn't pass the test. You know what I'm saying? Oh, still on here. All right,